Oh. Yeah. There will now be an opportunity for silent prayer or meditation. Please be seated again. The Secretary will read the order of this mini-plenary.
Debate on vote number 34, Mineral Resources and Energy Appropriation Bill.
The Honourable the Minister of Mineral and Petroleum Resources.
Thank you, House Chairperson, Deputy Minister of Mineral and Petroleum Resources, Ms. Judith Namatsinga. Then there's another ministry here, Minister of Electricity and Energy. I don't understand how to separate the two. That is what Ramkhopa is separated. Members in this House, today we're tabling Budget 34, which is a budget for the Department of Mineral Resources and Energy. When the department is in a situation of being reconfigured. Therefore, this is, I call it a transitional budget, because we are reconfiguring the department. There's Mineral and Petroleum Resources and Electricity and Energy. Those are the two departments. This budget covers both of them. Our experience in the past 5 years has pointed us to the fact that the petroleum sector has been a second fiddle to other forms of energy, in particular the fascination with renewable resources. Now, thus the formation of the Ministry of Mineral and Petroleum Resources ends the neglect of the petroleum sector and mandates us to meaningfully promote and advance the sector for South Africa to meaningfully benefit from its petroleum endowment. This is a mandate that we fully accept and commit to realize with the help of this August House. We deliver this budget under the difficult conditions where the economy has been confronted with several headwinds, including, but not limited to, geopolitical factors, infrastructure inefficiencies, structural integrity, particularly rail, ports, and electricity supply. This was also compounded by depressed commodity prices for more than 1 quarter. Despite this fact, and due to the bullish market of some commodities such as gold, we have seen the improvement of the performance of the mining industry with 2.4% contribution of mining to the GDP in Q4 of 2023 compared to the minus 3.2% in Q4 of 2022. So we're not talking about overall improvement. We'll come back to that. We're making a comparison from quarter to quarter. Effectively, in rand terms, in 2023, we saw mining sector contributing 444.2 billion rand to the country's gross domestic product, amounting to 6% of the total GDP. In the same period, the mining industry export earnings totaled to 654 billion rands, while the mining sector employs 489,000 mine workers. We have noted with concern the recent retrenchment, specifically in the platinum sector. In response to these job losses, we have pulled our social partners together and were in discussions to craft an approach to minimize them. Over and above this, we are making significant progress in NICOM and LCC. The NLCC is the National Logistics Crisis Committee, where we have formed partnership with industry players to improve the state of infrastructure to support mining. We must express our appreciation of the continued suspension of load shedding That is put. We appreciate that, and we're hoping that when the results are announced tomorrow of the quarter, we'll see some improvement as a result of the performance of the electricity sector. Honorable Chairperson, the 30-year mark since the promulgation of the MPRDA provided us a half-time moment to reflect on the performance over its tenure thus far. In this reflection, it became evident that it has largely delivered on its intended goals, but has not without, that was not without challenges and shortcomings. Yes. To this end, the department is currently drafting amendments to the MPRDA aimed at ensuring that areas that have been identified as weak and those that have been challenged legally are strengthened against international best practice. The amendments will also review the licensing regime to reduce the red tape and improve business environment for investors while keeping in sync with South Africa's social and economic fabric. These amendments are a continuation of regulatory and policy adjustment we initiated during the sixth administration, where we reviewed the following. Mine Health and Safety Act was reviewed. It is therefore going to be tabled to Cabinet for approval. We drafted and submitted the Upstream Petroleum Resource Development Bill to Parliament, which has been adopted by both houses of Parliament and ready for presidential assent. Petroleum Products Amendment Bill, which is ready for submission to Cabinet to obtain approval for publish of shareholders' comments. We drafted the South African National Petroleum Company Bill, which is aimed at creating a state-owned national champion for active participation in oil and gas projects. This bill is also ready for submission to Cabinet and therefore be transmitted to Parliament. The SANPEC has been registered in terms of Company Act with an interim CEO appointed to get governance arrangements going. Electricity Regulation Amendment Bill intended to introduce electricity market reforms and National Nuclear Regulator Amendment Bill aimed at strengthening the nuclear regulatory framework were passed by Parliament and are being considered by President for assent into law. Amended Schedule 2 of the Electricity Regulation Act to enable the development of generation capacity by private sector without the need for license. You will remember that that area we've removed the ceiling, which used to be 1 megawatt, it went to 100 megawatts. Instead of going to 1,000 as demanded, we said, remove the ceiling. It is no ceiling now. Following that, NERSA has registered 1,406 generation facilities with a combined capacity of 6,977 megawatts. The Gas Amendment Bill, for which we have just concluded shareholder consultation and will be taking it through the NEDLEC consultation in August this year, after which it will be submitted to Cabinet for onward transmission to Parliament. Understanding the gravity of the impact of illegal mining to the economy, in the previous we drafted the General Law Amendment Bill, which seeks to synchronize the provisions contained in the MPRDA Diamond Act and those of Criminal Procedure Act, thus empowering police to end and arrest illegal miners for their criminal deeds. This bill is ready for submission to Cabinet and allows the Minister to table it in Parliament. Chairperson and honorable members, in our quest to strive for evidence-based policy making, we are currently drafting a report on state of mining. We have taken that decision deliberately, Honorable Lorima, because every lazy analyst writes about mining, sometimes not taking care of facts, just write anything they like about mining. We are commissioning a study where it will be a study that gives you scientific evidence on the state of mining in the country. We've completed 7 minerals thus far. We're going to complete it within no time are quite urgent. We treat it as very urgent. And we also look at a study on critical minerals. You know, critical minerals depend on the country. They define it in terms of what country needs what. We're looking into various options to develop critical minerals. I can assure you that in many of the examples, we've discovered that coal is a critical mineral. I know many don't think that coal is a critical mineral. It is a critical mineral. It is a number of byproducts that are critical for the future. Given South African endowment with considerable mineral reserves of strategic significance to the global economy, we are convinced that increased exploration will enable the country to meaningful benefit from global advantage. To enable this, and guided by the exploration strategies we develop in partnership with the industry, working with Industrial Development Corporation, we've established an exploration fund to support the emerging and junior miners. It is winter. Yeah, to activate the fund, the first fund call focusing on copper, nickel, lithium, rare earth elements, and graphite was issued on 3rd June this year. As of today, 11 July, we've received a total of 15 applications for that exploration fund. The value of it is 200 million rand. We're hoping that it can be grown. And it is important that we'll close the window by tomorrow, 12th of July. We intend to intensify our engagement with several fund managers and investor community to secure additional financing to sustain and fund into the future. In addition, the department has allocated 72 million rand to fund artisanal and small-scale miners. That is not legalizing illegal miners. That is not what it is. It is funding directed at artisanal and small-scale miners. And it focuses on women and youth-owned companies in the main. 21 of these companies that responded to the funding call have successfully completed the rigorous due diligence process. Following the conclusion of the contracting agreement between IDC and the beneficiaries, funds towards their projects will be dispersed not later than September this year. Recognizing the importance of efficient and transparent mining licenses for regulatory certainty and sustainability of mining industry, we announced in February this year the appointment of PMG Consortium as a successful bidder for design, implementation, and maintenance of the mining license system. To this end, the service level agreement with them has been concluded and the systematic implementation of the project has begun with an intention to complete the total migration to the new system by June 2025. Social and labor plans have proven to be a very effective instrument through which host and labor sending communities have received tangible benefit through infrastructure projects such as schools, clinics, bridges, and water supply system. We are venturing into food production projects as well. To this end, during the Super administration, the industry implemented and completed 534 SLP projects in various provinces, totaling to 2.5 billion rand as part of the social license to operate. SLPs is not a favor. It is a social license that gives mine owners a license to operate with the neighborhood of the people around them. We've given you a list of some of the projects. If you are in Rustenburg, you go to Majaganeng, you see that we launched a primary school and a secondary school on the same day. If you are in the Eastern Cape, you go to Aidugwa, you'll find SJS Kenjana, and we'll see Mpindweni Clinic in the Eastern Cape, Rockdale Clinic in Mpumalanga, and Modderfontein. We're just giving you a taste of the type of projects that we're delivering. Honorable members, health and safety of mine workers remain at the center of the work we do, owing to our strategic partnership with our social partners, we have improved our performance towards zero harm goal. This is demonstrable to the decline of mine fatalities, injuries, and occupational diseases, as evidenced by 49 fatalities being the lowest on record in 2022. Although we had set ourselves to breaking this record in 2023, then we had regrettably a disaster in Impala, which killed 13 mine workers and many other fatality incidents that contributed to regression and resulting to, in 2023, to 53 fatalities in the industry. But there's an issue that we think this committee must look into, is that there's an emerging trend for workers on the way to work.